The Amazon is a colossal mystery. It's one of the subjects that I explore in depth in America before. First of all, to give some basic figures, the Amazon basin is huge, 7 million square kilometers in area. Within it, 5.5 million square kilometers remains almost entirely unstudied by archaeologists. To put that into perspective, 5.5 million square kilometers is the size of the entire Indian subcontinent. It's like saying, we've done world archaeology, but we've just ignored India. The view was that humans hadn't entered the Amazon until about 1,000 years ago. It's not a resource-rich area. The soils are poor. And then, little by little, that view has begun to change because the Amazon rainforest is literally being cut down. And in that cutting down process has emerged things that shouldn't be there at all. For example, evidence that large cities flourished in the Amazon. There was a Spanish explorer who went down the Amazon river system in 1541 to 1542. He was the first European to cross the entire length of South America from west to east along the Amazon. He reported seeing incredible cities, advanced arts and crafts, millions of people, a thriving culture. 100 years later, when other Europeans got into the Amazon, they couldn't find these cities. So they said, oh, Francisco Orellana, that was his name, made it all up. It was just a fantasy. And then in the last decade, as the clearances of the Amazon have proceeded, we've begun to see the traces of those cities. What happened was that the Spaniards brought smallpox into the Amazon. Smallpox devastated the local population because there was no immunity to it. There was a massive die-off. The cities were deserted. Within 50 years, they were completely overgrown by the jungle, and that's why they were not seen by the explorers who came in 100 years later. But now the jungle's being cleared, those cities are emerging, and we can say that a city like London, which had a population of roughly 50,000 in the 16th century, there were cities of that size all over the Amazon. Possible total population of the Amazon that exceeded 20 million people. And then you ask yourself, how did they feed 20 million people in the Amazon? Because it's a fact, rainforest soils are poor. The answer was they invented a soil, and that soil has a name. It's called terra preta. Archaeologists refer to it as Amazonian dark earths or Amazonian black earth. It's a man-made soil. It's thousands of years old. It's full of microbes that are not found in adjoining soil. It's based around biochar, and you can take a handful of 8,000-year-old terra preta and you can add it to barren soil, and that soil will instantly become fertile. There was science in the Amazon. There was a culture that was capable of manipulating the environment in such a way that it could support large populations with the invention of terra preta. Secondly, new evidence, the Amazon is basically a garden. The Amazon is a man-made rainforest. There are certain trees like Brazil nut trees or the ice cream bean tree, which are food crops, and they dominate the tree regime. They're what's referred to as hyperdominant species. In other words, people living in the Amazon over thousands of years selected certain trees, which they then cultivated and grew. So the whole thing is not simply a wild, pristine rainforest. It's a very ancient man-made environment.